Disney Infinity lives or dies by its characters. Sure, the toy box does give players the ability to create anything they can imagine, but let's be honest. We play because we love Disney, or Marvel, or Star Wars. So I'm going to take a closer look at each Disney Infinity figure to explore what's great and not so great about each one. In this episode, we're going to be looking at my favorite superhero, and thankfully one of the most enjoyable Disney Infinity figures to play as, Spider-Man. The iconic pose, the big expressive eyes, the engraved webbing pattern on his costume, and even the individual fingers have been carefully modeled, leaving us with one of the coolest Disney Infinity figures. The design team at Avalanche have mentioned that when they are trying to nail down a pose for a new character, they try to capture what is called the moment of anticipation. In other words, they try to freeze them right before they take action. For example, Spider-Man looks like he's landed on some rubble and has struck an iconic pose, ripped straight out of the comics, cartoons, and movies. Even with the stripped-down, simple design that Infinity goes for, his agility, strength, and athleticism still shine through. As a fan, I've gotta say, it's a real treat looking at this figure. When you're trying to do Spider-Man, there's one thing you have to get right. And that's the swinging. In all these years, I've played through the best and the worst of what Spidey's video games have to offer, and I'm happy to say that in Disney Infinity, he swings like a champ. It's not quite the best, but it's up there. Even with the simplified, toyish nature of Disney Infinity, you get a real sense of weight and speed when you're launching a web moments before hitting the ground, and Spidey's animations dynamically change based on when you release, showing off a set of familiar poses. During a swing, the point at which you let go appropriately affects which direction the momentum takes you. This means letting go early will launch you forward, letting go late will launch you upwards. With enough practice, you can gain altitude, speed, or both with a surprising amount of accuracy. Don't get me wrong, it's not as technical as The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but it doesn't have to be. Instead, the swinging in Disney Infinity lands in a comfy middle ground between the simple swinging from the sky mechanics of the old PS1 games and the more technical modern games. The only thing that's really missing here is the ability to pull yourself forward. Wait. You can? Well, alright, let's do that. Oh. I can only assume that this was rushed in the last minute. I appreciate that it was included at all, but it's a shame that it looks so rough. I get the feeling that something as simple as a little extra tug animation might have done the trick to make this look a lot better. Anyways, let's check out his moveset.
This'll be no problem, but you probably knew that already.
Spider-Man has a standard combo just like any post 1.0 figure. But since the last half of his combo involves his webs, he can cover quite a bit of ground, which is nice if you're taking on multiple enemies at once. In true Spider-Man fashion, he is able to jump from enemy to enemy, keeping them too distracted to land a blow. And when things get too hairy, you can always hold down the attack button to bust out this room clearer.
Take a moment to learn from your impending failure.
You're unstoppable!
It's interesting to note that Spidey's web shooters are significantly slower in 2.0. Speeding them up for 3.0 is a massive improvement. The move is just much more useful now. Although I do find that the animation looks kind of incomplete or bugged out. One hand clearly fires while the other glitches back and forth. You're still shooting, but again, it looks rough, and considering the high quality of the rest of his animations, this is kind of a letdown. For Disney Infinity 3.0, the team really wanted to improve how combat felt. To do this, they hired these guys. Did you notice? Did ya? Did you notice? Some characters even have a move that pulls enemies towards you. That's exactly what Spider-Man needs. You should be able to jump into the air and yank people towards you with your webs. In fact, I'm kind of bummed out that we have this giant roster of Marvel characters that we got in 2.0, and they haven't been updated. We've been told that the Captain America figure that's coming with the Marvel Battlegrounds playset will have a completely new moveset, and you would assume that that includes the 3.0 improvements. But that sets kind of a nasty precedent. I don't want to have to buy reposes of every single character in order to keep them relevant, but I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. If you hadn't heard, in the latest patch, the currently beta exclusive Black Suit Spider-Man has had this attack replaced with an uppercut and aerial combo. If you try to attack in the air with regular Spider-Man, he just spikes downwards. And I'm a little torn about this. They've completely replaced a prior move, but it does modernize the figure with a more comprehensive 3.0 moveset. But what do you think? Should the old characters be updated in a patch, or only the characters that they release moving forward? In conclusion, we're coming up on about 100 figures available for Disney Infinity, and when each of them plays pretty similarly, it can be difficult to make one feel unique, and Spider-Man is one of those characters. They nailed the figure, for the most part the moveset is dead on, and most importantly, swinging feels solid. If you're on the fence about whether or not you should pick up this figure, I highly, highly recommend it. It should be a part of every Disney Infinity player's collection. So there you have it, my first Disney Infinity character analysis. Let me know how I did, what you liked, what you didn't like, and most importantly, what character you'd like me to tackle next. I've been spending some time on the Disney Infinity Reddit, and the community there is really strong, and they've given me some suggestions of who I should take a look at next. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see, and I will definitely consider it. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll catch you next time.